I really have to say, Raymond, that I consider myself kind of thick-skinned and crusty, but you really have me a little and I'm so grateful that you talked in such a heartfelt way about what you have faced, because those of us who've been born here and never had to worry about the things that you worry about every day, we need to get a little bit of emotion associated with having to worry about whether or not you're going to have a roof over your head. And what I mean is, will you be in a detention ICE cell, or will you be in your home? Will you be in a detention center, or will you be home with your family? And I tell you guys, we are only a few days in front of the observation of Martin Luther King's birthday. And I want us to plug into the fact that the human rights, civil rights movement, the vanguard of that movement, is the immigration struggle that we are in right now. If you have never fantasized about what it might be like to be on Edmund Pettus Bridge, maybe you fantasized about what it would mean to be at the March on Washington. Maybe you thought, man, I wish I was there to fight with those folks who fought the great battle for civil and human rights. Maybe you fantasized about fighting Hitler in World War II, or maybe you fantasized about being in the Civil War. Man, don't fantasize about none of that. Because the battle is on right here, right now. Right here. All the Thank the Road, awesome organization. Please give it up for them. Of organized labor. I see some SEIU shirts. And I want to thank you, because when you were willing to put your arms around our dreamers and let them know that they're not alone, and that they're not by themselves, you are upholding the best tradition of human rights advocacy in this country. I want to say thank you for doing that, and every one of you in this room saying, I'm going to be with Raymond. I'm with Raymond. That's who I'm with. That is important. She needs to know you care about her, and you're not just willing to clap for her because you know you are, but you are willing to, I don't know, get arrested for her, show up and get arrested for her. You're willing to try to out there for her, so you go out and like you're so much for her. This is the kind of commitment that we have to have, because it may feel like we're fighting over a dream act, or it may feel like we're fighting over a piece of legislation, but what we're really fighting about is the very direction of our country. Yes, that's right. That's what it's all about. Would you rather have a country that really means and lives up to liberty and justice for all? Or would you rather have a Trumpian vision where all Americans look the same, talk the same, and pray the same, and everybody else is kicked out or pushed down to second-class citizenship? Look, people made all this fuss about what he said last night. I know you ain't surprised. I mean, what about when he said, oh, Judge Curiel, he can't be fair to me, he's a Mexican. Right. He said this dude's, the judge's ethnicity precluded him from being fair to Donald Trump. Because he was a Mexican, born in Indiana, by the way. This is the mentality of the person. He starts out saying, we're going to have a full, complete ban on Muslims. There's no doubt about what this guy is. It's not extreme or even unreasonable to say that he is a racist. Yeah. And guess what, my friend? He's actually good with it. Yes.
And one of your biggest supporters, Representative Peter Schweizer. here. Michael, thank you for those way too kind remarks. I appreciate that. And I'll owe him later. He wrote a book, so if everybody's mind, you're welcome. It's about to be ironically enough. Anyway, listen, I want to start by thanking each and every one of you. From the activists that are in the room who have been talking to folks who feel like their voices don't matter and have elevated those conversations, the decision makers, and I'm not talking about elected officials, I'm talking about folks like my old boss. I understand, Pastor, that you recently spoke with John Nesbitt, President and CEO of Sacred Heart Hospital. And so your ability to talk to folks who otherwise feel like their voices don't matter and elevate their concerns and conversations to people who might have a few resources or might have a few opportunities to make their lives a little bit better is remarkable. It's empowering for our neighbors, our constituents, and our friends. And it helps people like Mike and I, and gentlemen I get to introduce in a moment, Governor, to do our jobs better. But I'd also like to thank you all for the smaller things that you're doing every day. You know, when I worked at Sacred Heart a few blocks down the road, we got to do things like people who were just having a hard time with dinner that night. We did coat drives, we did backpack drives, and I know you're doing that too. You're helping those constituents, our neighbors, our friends, our family members who are struggling with those little kindnesses, the warm meal, a knit hat on a cold day, that so dramatically improves their life. And I want to thank you, not as a state representative, but as a guy who grew up a block and a half from here. See, you're in my neighborhood. I was born and raised at 10th and Chew, and I'm fibbing a little bit, because I didn't just live at 10th and Chew. I was a real poor kid. I lived in 9 places by the time I was 18 years old. You don't necessarily think about urban poverty being a guy who looked like me, but my dad was real poor. My mom and dad were real poor. My dad had severe PTSD from his service in Vietnam. My father struggled with addiction and died in 2001. And we were a poor family. I got to where I am because my community and the public at large invested in me. My dad had a union job with the city of Allentown digging ditches. And when he had a bad day at work, he didn't get fired because his union protected him. Thank you, SEIU. My mom still has his pension. How about that? Retirement security. When I was sick, I was able to go to a doctor. I never had chicken pox as a kid. And I did that in spite of the fact that I don't even know if my father finished high school. I know he didn't go to college, and neither did my mother. And yet we were able to do that. And then the public once again invested in this poor kid from Center City, Allentown. I went to Penn State, publicly subsidized college. I had Stafford loans and Pell Grants to be able to put myself through college. Yeah, I worked 40 hours a week, but I had a hand up. And you know what I know? I know if it weren't for the public investing in this poor kid, I wouldn't be here today. And I know there are thousands of kids right here in Allentown, neighborhoods that I grew up in, or neighborhoods like my dad grew up in down on Ridge Avenue, 5th generation Allentown kid, that will have those same opportunities because there are progressive leaders that still believe that all Americans, all human beings have dignity and have value to our community, and our nation, our state, and my city of Allentown will be better off because we're investing in those people. I believe in that. Now, many of you may not know, I'm the prime sponsor of legislation that would be the Pennsylvania DREAM Act. Because I believe, I don't care where you were born, but if you graduated from high school in Pennsylvania, you should be able to afford college. That should be a basic fundamental right. Doesn't just talk about the college affordability from how much tuition costs, but it includes FIA protections so that if you were born in, and I'm going to say El Salvador today because it's kind of in the news, you're still able to get that loan and grant, the same loan and grant that I had to be able to put myself through Penn State. Because that's just an American principle, and it's smart for our economy. I'm the prime sponsor of legislation that would just do a study on income inequality. We all know that the haves have more now and the have-nots have less than they had a decade ago. All I want to do is study it, and I partnered with a colleague of mine from the city of York, Representative Carol Hill Evans, to do it. We have, not only have these two bills not passed, I can't even get a vote in committee to consider either of these things. Why? It's not because Democrats in Pennsylvania aren't progressive enough, because there's not enough of us. There are 40 more Republicans in the Pennsylvania State House than there are Democrats. 40. We have 80 members. There's 50% more Republicans than Democrats in the Pennsylvania State House. State Senate's even worse. We have 16 Democratic state senators out of 50. They have a veto-proof majority. That way, when they pass something horrible, like they tried to do recently targeting trans kids, Governor Wolf wanted to veto that. They could have said, we don't really care what you have to say, we're going to override this veto. Fortunately, we were able to kill that proposal. But the best that we can do right now in Harrisburg, and the best that Governor Wolf can do in Harrisburg, is stop some really bad things from happening. So forget studying income inequality, forget passing college education, affordability for all folks, forget passing a minimum wage right now. We're just trying to hold on to dear life to make sure things don't get worse for the working class men and women, the people of Pennsylvania across the ocean. Folks, I'm a Democrat because I believe government has a moral and philosophical responsibility to help the little guy. And I shouldn't say my district, it's not my district. The district that I have the opportunity, the honor of representing includes Mack trucks. The little guy is sometimes the laid-off Mack truck worker. That person deserves government's help and support through unemployment compensation only. But so does the newly arrived Syrian immigrant. So does the kid who happens to be transgender, who's tired of getting bullied. And so do everybody else. We all have value, we all are important, and every single one of us has something to add to make our community better. Folks, I can't do this myself. I'm not even able to do my job without your help and your support. And for all of you who have been there, and I know a lot of folks in the room have done stuff to help me and Mike, I appreciate that more than you know, and I'm going to continue to fight so long as I'm in Harrisburg, and frankly, well beyond. I'm going to continue to fight for my hometown. But there's one other person that we so desperately need to help us out there. We need 4 more years of Governor Wolf. Education would be funded at a much lower level, and our basic human rights would be obliterated. Governor Wolf, thank you for coming to Allentown.
I've been doing this for just a little less than 3 years. Before that, I was just like interested in making my Commonwealth a better place. But I've been surprised by what I've seen in Harrisburg. There are a lot of people who have a lot of ideas that are very different from the ideas that Mike and that you have. We're just trying to make lives better. That's what you want. That's what we all want. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to cater to any interest. We're not trying to make sure somebody's feelings aren't hurt. We're actually trying to make lives better. That's what Pete was talking about. That's what Mike is talking about. And that's what we try to do in Harrisburg. But there are a surprising number of people who really don't care about it. And we want to keep things the way they are, moving in a direction that really is so different from what it should move. And I think talking about this issue that we're talking about today is really good. You know, how ridiculous is the opposition to DACA from anybody? I mean, and this is Pennsylvania. Representative Ellison, good to see you here. Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is really important. Now, I don't want to get really overly nerdy here. I am a nerd. But one of my favorite authors is an author called Eric Maria Remarque, who wrote All Quiet on the Western Front. He wrote a number of novels. One of them is not as well known. It's called Flotsam. And it's about life before the Second World War in Europe, when a lot of stateless refugees were wandering from border to border. They were being kicked out, deported from countries. It was just part of the culture that existed in that pre-war era. Terrible for many, many people. And there's a point in that novel where two of the folks who have been deported from one of these many countries that have said, we're not going to keep you here. They're looking at each other and they're saying, you know, one of the problem with this era is not the existence of great, extraordinary evil. It's the absence of ordinary good. And that's our challenge. And it reminds me of the quote, you've all heard this, Benjamin Franklin was leading the Constitutional Convention in 1787. Everybody knows this? Mrs. Howe confronted him and said, so what's it to be, Dr. Franklin, a monarchy or a republic? He said, a republic, if you can keep it. What we've shown right now is that we need to keep our republic. And we need to hold fast to those ideals and those values that we started with 247 years ago. Right. We have never lived fully up to those ideals, but we've never stopped trying. Up until now, we have got to try to live up to those ideals. And what better way than the Dreamers? What better way to take folks who have been in this country for a long time? They were brought here by their parents. They're here. This is the only home they know. We cannot afford to make them stateless refugees like those folks in Blossom. We cannot afford to have the absence of that ordinary goodness that has made this country so great and has made us progress through all the tough things and bad things that we progress through. We've got to keep progressing. We can't go backward. And so this is about holding on to our republic. This is about what you are doing here. You need to do this. You need to keep this energy alive. I'm hoping you're going to keep this energy alive through November of 2018. We're going to be able to do some great things. Peter and Mike talked about the bad things that we have stopped from happening, but we've also done some good things, even with the overwhelming odds against us. All of us working together have gotten historic increases in education funding. Historic over the last 3 years in the facial. I've expanded Medicaid. We have more people. Able to do things that made lives better for people here in Pennsylvania. Could we do more if there were more Mikes, more Petes in Harrisburg? Absolutely. And this year, this is our chance. Let's make sure we keep this republic. Let's make sure we hold on to the values that we have held dear ever since the founding. Let's make America truly.
And I love my family, and I know you love yours, and we want to rejoin families together. But we've got to win the argument. We've got to win the case. We've got to get all over this state, all over this country, and convince all Americans that we are better together and that immigration is part of what it means to be an American in the first place. Everybody in this country, except for the Native Americans, came here from somewhere else. Some voluntarily, some not. We all came here. Yeah, that's right. And as was famously said, we may come here in different boats, but we're in the same ship now. And so the bottom line is, we have to fight together, we have to stick together, and our unity is our strength. You know, there was a famous quote. Anybody, I mentioned Martin Luther King. He's been on my heart a lot these days. And he famously was in jail. And after you're in jail a while, sometimes you get into conversations with your jailers. Any of y'all who ever been arrested protesting for being in jail a few days, start talking to the jailers. How you doing, Sam? I'm okay. I mean, this, if you've been in jail, you know what I'm talking about. And I have been. And so, he asked the guy, he said, how much you make jailing us, keeping us behind lock and key? And the guy told Martin Luther King how much he made, and Martin Luther King said, man, that ain't enough to keep your family going. He said, that's true, we got to do vegetables in the backyard, and we would be without. He said, you might be the jailer and I'm the jailee, but you need to be marching with us Negroes. Yeah. That's what he said. He said the same forces that oppress us are the same forces that keep you down. Yeah. You think because you got the key and I'm on the other side of this jail cell that you got more power than me, but neither one of us can afford to pay the bills for our family. We've got to understand that this division around race and this division around our religion, this is an artificially imposed thing to keep us thinking that we're not one human family. We have got to fight through this stuff and create true human solidarity.
Now, I'm not saying that we can't be proud of who we are and our heritage and all that, and I'm not saying that our histories are not different. I'm saying that at the end of the day, we're one human family. The scientists will tell you that. And the only way they get us to fight each other is that they convince us that we are different. But we've got to fight through that, and we have got to come together. When he says white supremacy nationalism, we say human solidarity for all. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. I'm black and I'm proud. Me too, for sure. I'm not saying that you should give up who you are. I mean, your culture is beautiful. The history, the culture, the food, everything, we love it. We learn from each other, and we bask in the glow of each other's culture. Teach me about you. I want to tell you about me. But at the end of the day, it really is a matter of human solidarity. And it can't be the case that only the DACA kids, only the dreamers are fighting for the dream. All of us, whether you're born here, 14 generations, you have to be on their side. You got to be with Rainey if your people came in here in 1742 like mine did. Not voluntarily. I'm telling you, if you are a man, you can't let the sisters fight this sexual harassment thing. You got to stand up and fight. Oh, yeah, tell me how you're going to make it out. Come back to me on that. No. We're in it. We got to be in it. It can't just be black people and Latinos fighting racism. We need our white brothers and sisters saying racism degrades all of us. We gotta find a word for it. We have got to find a way to have each other's backs all the time. Now, I'm here as deputy chair of the Democratic National Committee, but I'm not here trying to sell you on the next election or my party's better than their party. No, we're talking about value systems right here. Party, y'all know that the Democratic Party before 48 was the racist party. You know it. Let's just be honest. Let's not make up any myths. Let's just tell the truth. And when Hubert H. Humphrey got up there and he said, we are at the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia, he said we're going to walk out of the dark shadow of states' rights into the bright sunshine of human rights. Yes. Those bunch of Southern Democrat racists got up and walked out of the convention and walked into something called the Dixiecrat Party, yes, then walked into the Republican Party. And been there ever since. I'm telling you that I am a Democrat today because the Democratic Party is the party that says we can welcome our Muslim brothers and sisters. You saw 7 Muslims speak in the Democratic Convention. Who saw Khazar Khan and Ghazala Khan up there? Who saw Suleiman Abdul-Jabbar up there? You know, the Democratic Party is the party that says that we're going to stand for women's rights, paid equity. We're going to stand for women's right to choose, and we're going to stand for increasing not just the minimum wage, but we got to have a livable wage. Yeah. Then it's the Democratic Party saying that we want to fight for the right to a voice on your job. It's the Democratic Party that is fighting for immigration reform right here, right now, and it's rock solid, demanding that we have a Clean Dream Act to vote on. So it's not a matter of me just trying to sell you just on a party, right? When the Democratic Party's wrong, say they're wrong. How much do you expect them to get right? You think they're going to get right just based on hope? No, you got to hold them accountable. You got to hold us accountable. We want you to do this. Because we're not trying to be popular, we're trying to be right. Yes. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, the Democratic Party is not really for only Democrats. It's for the American people. It should be. It should be a body of people fighting for a shared set of values that lifts up the dignity of working people of all colors and backgrounds. That's what it really should be. It is a flawed institution. But the way that it gets better is you don't beat us down, you beat us up. Yes. Up. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it is groups like Make the Road that inspire us to be better. We need you to keep doing what you're doing so you can keep the moral standard high. We understand that. Reformers within love it when y'all get down the way you get down because we say, see, that's what we need to do. Yeah, so that's what I'm telling you. So keep it up and just understand this. In the next few days, we're going to have some difficult days ahead. They just did an ice raid over there in Hellertown at the 7-Eleven. Think about that. As you think about what you heard from our dear beloved Sister Rainey, think about other people who have to deal with just being on jobs, and then here come the ICE people. Now they got to run and hide and hope that they can make it home for dinner tonight so they can feed the kids. In Minnesota, they did a big raid at the Postville in Iowa, and the kids came home for dinner, but mom and dad was in the ICE detention. This is inhuman. We cannot have a second-class citizen group in our country. We cannot have a group of people who live in the shadows and live in the fear. We got to say everybody walks into the light. And I'm going to ask you a little question. Have you ever heard of an undocumented corporation? Because the corporation goes back and forth across the border as it pleases. That's right. You know, the corporation says, oh, we can shut down here in Pennsylvania and open right on the other side of the Mexican border, and we can cut their pay, reopen, hire these people at 5%, no environmental protection, no human rights, no labor rights, and we can make a bundle. And then we can tell those Americans that it was the Mexicans who took their jobs. And we should build a wall and then get the contracts to my friends. Who might just remember that I'm the one who hooked them up down the line. You understand what I mean? This is a big, fat, ugly scam, y'all. Undocumented people are people who have not been given a paper, so give them some paper. And you know, I'm going to tell you, it's often said, you know, people say this, I always try to tell them, you know, I'm not feeling that too much. But somebody said to me, well, you know, the Virginians came here no fault of their own. I said, you know, their parents might have been fleeing from some outrageous and unfair policies that our country has contributed to. Don't be surprised, Brother Q says the Pledge of Allegiance from his heart. But I don't think that everything my country's ever done is exactly what I would have it do. I would not have my country train people at the School of the Americas and send them down to El Salvador.
Yes, right.
I would shut things down. And one thing I for sure would not do is after Salvadorans run here because of the hell that was created down there, tell them, get out. That just happened, 200,000 strong. We got to fight for our dreams, we got to fight for these Salvadorans too. And these Hondurans, and these Liberians, and the Haitians. I'm going to tell you right now, Minneapolis is going to be in good shape if we kick all the Liberians out. You know why? Because if you go into a nursing home caring for senior citizens, nearly all of them are Liberians or Haitians. These folks are embedded in our community. They're our neighbors, they're our friends, they're our spouses. Right? These are people that are our people. And we ain't going to let them go out like that.
Yeah, that's right.
So let me just tell you very, very, very simply that the Democratic National Committee has changed its mission. We're no longer a party whose job is to elect a Democratic president. We are fighting for candidates up and down the ballot.
Yes.
We are no longer a party that only cares about the election. Because if all you care about is the election, then you only come around when the election comes up. And after the election's over, then you're gone until the next one. And then people get to thinking all you care about is the No. You know what's more important than the election? What happens between the elections. Because between the election, we get health care or we don't. Between the election, we get immigration reform or we don't. Between the election, we get common sense gun safety laws or we don't. going in there to do whatever they want. There are lines of accountability that we all have to have. And make the road, if make the road works to help you get elected, you better believe they're gonna be asking you questions if you start going the wrong direction. All right? Accountability. But it's co-governance. It's about governing together. It's about when I'm in office, I go back to people like you and say, look, we got a vote coming up. What do y'all think? We think this, this, and this. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to need you to write some letters, to show up at rally, to come to the meeting, and we're going to do this thing together. That's got to be our new model. We created that model. We're saying that going to rich people and asking them for millions of dollars to spend millions of dollars on television ads is dumb. We're saying that we got to go build a face-to-face relationship with your neighbor. What about that? Somebody ever asked me, what's the message of the Democratic Party? Go knock a door and build a relationship with me. Anybody who wants to debate George Lakoff with me, go knock 10 doors, then I'll make time for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let me just say, you guys, and I mean this, I love you. I mean that.
We
and
love
I
you
tell
too.
And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that. Because you inspire me, man. Anytime that people start getting up under my last nerve, I see you and your passion, your fight, your desire for the best of this nation. I see you in all your colors, all your cultures, all your diversity. But I see you unified and having the best interest of each other, first and foremost. I see inspiration in young people and old people. Y'all know with this tax deal, they're going after grandma's Social Security. You know that, right? You don't be fighting for Rainy today, you're going to be fighting for Mr. Killicuddy tomorrow. Believe that. And so, I just want to wrap it up here and let you know how much I deeply, deeply appreciate you. Murat, we're going to get them votes that you say we need, brother. We're going to fight for those votes, and we're going to, and you know who's going to turn Minnesota? You know who's going to turn Pennsylvania blue? I know Americans.
We
I know
are.
Americans. All of you right there. What is happening? We're all in the are you doing Q&A or what? Yeah. I got more time if y'all want to talk, but thank you very much. I want to thank Power Northeast Action. Power Northeast Action! So look, everybody, whenever we do questions, let me just say, I would ask that you remember that there's other folks who want to talk to you. So if you get off on like a 15-minute speech, you've already had a bunch of speeches, right? So is everybody cool with like just asking the question or making your statement? Are we all good? Yeah. Let's get started. So, okay, so I've been told, you said 15 minutes? 3 questions, 15 minutes, whatever takes longer. Yes, sir, that's green circuit.
We know Donald Trump is a racist.
Yeah, you already said that.
But the question is, what about the GOP that's protecting him?
Good
The
question.
only reason we know about his racist statement calling other countries shithole countries
Yeah.
is because Dick Durbin happened to be invited to that meeting by Lindsey Graham. And Donald Trump this morning denied that he said that. Why don't you call those GOP people? Why don't you ask Dick Durbin to call them out by name and say, who's lying, Donald Trump or these guys?
Well, you know, good question. Let me tell you this. I think you're asking me why don't we call them out more. Let me tell you this. We call them out on the regular, but at the end of the day, I have to humbly submit to you that the real calling out needs to be us calling out to our neighbors and organizing all over the country. I believe that it's fine to call out other politicians who do awful things, but it's more important to build the grassroots movement. Now let me just say this to you. I think that it is very important for all of us to take communication and direct organizing very, very personally and getting out there and fighting. But I think that calling out those, the people doing the wrong thing is right to do, but it's not the hardest part of the battle. Let me just wrap up by saying that we're going to be counting on all of y'all to help us organize this country to a point where one day we're not going to have a president who says shithole country anymore. And that is the day that we're fighting for. Thank you. Yep. He's nice and strong, just like you did. He has a great meeting voice. Let's see if we can do more of that.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. There's another good meeting voice.
How are you?
Awesome.
Good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your plain talk. I very much appreciate that. And I had kind of a statement question. You are in Allentown, Pennsylvania. You are in the property of Resurrected Life Community Church. And I'm curious, have you heard of Reverend Dr. Gregory Ellison, who is running for U.S. Congress?
Let me tell you, I have heard of Dr. Gregory Edwards, and I've heard great things about him. But I need to tell everybody this: as an officer of the Democratic National Committee, we have all pledged not to do pre-primary endorsement. So even though Gregory Edwards is an awesome, wonderful person, I'm very proud of running. If I were to do anything approaching endorsement, I'd get in big trouble with the other officers of the DNC. You may recall we got in a little bit of trouble because some folks thought other folks had an unfair advantage. So let me just say that I am encouraging all candidates. I'm very, very happy that Dr. Gregory Edwards is running, and I want to encourage everybody to get out there and run.
The last election, 125 million registered voters did not vote.
Right, that's true.
We had only for the presidential, we had 65 million versus 62.
Yep.
Is the message getting through to the people who sat down and did nothing and let this debacle unfold in the country?
Fred, I really do think that the message is getting through. Let me tell you why I believe the message is getting through. And this ain't no campaign hype, you expect people like me to say, yeah, we're doing great. No, I really mean it. Here's why. Because in Alabama, we didn't just have, it wasn't just the Roy Moore was so awful. We actually saw a dramatic upsurge in Democratic turnout in Alabama. We saw it, the black vote in Alabama exceeded Obama levels. Black women voted 98%.
Yes.
You don't get those kind of vote surges just by having a horrible candidate on the other side. We had a horrible candidate on the other side in the presidential, and that didn't cause our vote to pick up. So we are working since we lost about 9. By the way, someone would have said you in the green shirt. You are right to say that it's not just a Trump problem. I mean, it's not. Trump is a culmination of decades of Democrats not being grassroots, and
Not doing 50 states.
the right wing being mean and nasty and greedy, and having a plan. They're working plans on us,
Yes.
I mean, we're like playing pickup, and they're playing, like practicing all week. You got plays that they're running. And I just want to let you know, I think we've lost 1,000 seats since the year 2008. Remember 2008, we had the White House and both houses in Congress and most state legislators and governors. By 2010, we lost nearly all of that. Why? They worked a plan on us. Then they worked redistricting on us, and Pennsylvania has been suffering from it ever since. So what I'm telling you is this, going back to this gentleman's speech. Now you guys are going to think I'm bragging. I'm really not bragging, I'm just telling you the truth. In 2007, my district in the 5th Congressional District of Minnesota had the lowest voter turnout in the state of Minnesota. Now it has the highest. People used to say, let me tell you, people used to say, well, your district, Keith, we don't really blame you for having a low turnout because that's where all the poor people and the minorities and the immigrants and that we're not on you about it. We understand y'all just doing the best you can. I said, you know what? Don't coddle us. We don't need it. And you know what we did? We got up there, we knocked doors, I'm knocking on 50,000 doors last summer. I'm not even on the ballot.
Yeah.
And now, let me tell you what has happened. You don't respect the votes in the 5th Congressional District of Minnesota. There are no statewide Republicans in the state of Minnesota. There's not any. But you all recall, we used to have Tim Ellison, we used to have Norm Coleman. You ain't heard from him in a while, right? Why didn't you hear from him more? Because we have spiked the vote. And we were getting 250,000 at least in the presidential. We got up to 262 a few years ago. And because we're increasing that vote, they can't do anything. If you increase the vote total in your safe seats, you will lock them out. You will not just get Tom Wolf back in. You'll start taking over legislators. I'm going to tell you, there are no Republicans in the 5th Congressional District who are state legislators in my district. I do not allow this. I have kicked them all out. If any Republican tries to run for office in the 5th Congressional District as a state legislator, we will identify them and we will lock them out and we will rally in that state legislative district to defeat them. We play team ball up and down the ticket, right? So this is how we do this. If you guys will say in Pennsylvania, you guys actually got pretty decent voter turnout. You got about 70% in the presidential. Now Minnesota has 74. Not right. I'm just saying that if y'all beat us, then next time we try to beat you, but it will be a righteous competition. And we'll give y'all last question.
I'm a college senior right now, and I'm considering grad school for poli-sci because I'd like to run for.
Awesome.
I still have a lot to learn. What advice would you give?
So, it's a great question. It's a great question, Nancy.
My name is Ben.
So Ben asks, how can a young person who's really fired up to see a better America, how can he get involved? Now, Ben, the first thing I'd say is you got to serve. And that, what does that mean? That means get involved with your church, your mosque, your synagogue. If you're not religious, whatever institution you're into, but make sure that you're engaging people around making the local community better, right? Don't worry about being in charge, just worry about doing a good job. You do that, and you'll be fine. Put yourself in positions where you got to talk to people, so you can get over those jitters around that. I know a lot of people's biggest fear is speaking in public. Clearly not us in this room, but some folks, got a shyness about that. What I'm saying is, put yourself in a position where you get over it. The other thing that you need to do is organize among people your own age. Who has more at stake than the millennials of this country? You guys are facing climate change. You guys are facing massive college debt. You guys got this idiot over here threatening war all over the world. I mean, your age group has a lot on the line. And here's the thing I want to tell you, Ben, and I really, really don't want to say this, but I have to be honest with you, because I'm 54 years old. I got kids your age. And I'm going to tell you the truth, man. When I was your age, you could get through college by working a summer job. Now, maybe not going to some fancy Ivy League, but you go to a state college and you get through. This is not possible for our young people today. Somebody decides to commodify and commercially exploit college education and make a lot of money off of it. It is hurting the United States of America. It is hurting Ben. So what I'm going to tell you this, if you guys want to do something good for my man Ben, give him an internship, hire him, he will screw up, for sure. But, then you tell him, Ben, you don't do it this way, you do it that way, and then we keep on rolling.
I have cards.
So what I want to tell you is, Ben, Rainey, a whole bunch of these young people around here, get them on board, put them in positions of leadership, and let them get down and show what they can do. They are really talented. It's a lie that they are an apathetic generation. That's not true. These young people are putting their butts on the line every day. They're not scared. They're brave and courageous. Thank you very much.